Hi Disney friends, it's Amber with MickeyTravels. Today I've got a two-parter for you where I'm going to take a couple of concepts that you may be considering when you're planning your Walt Disney World vacation and to give you some advice and some tips on that. The first being, how many days should you spend at Walt Disney World? And the second being, what kind of park ticket best matches what my family needs? First off, let's talk about how many days should you spend at the Walt Disney World property? This is a question I get all the time. It's difficult to give a correct answer for this, so it just depends on what your family is looking at. So let's look at some various types of reasons you're going to Walt Disney World. Are you going for your first time, and is it a family vacation with a large group or a small group? Are you going just for a quick visit because of a convention and you need to know what parks you need to go to and how many days? There's all different types of situations. So if it's your first time, I usually recommend that you spend 2 days at Magic Kingdom. The reason for this is because there are more attractions there and it fits the needs of almost all ages, that there's going to be something for everyone at that park. So it is split into different lands all throughout the hub, the center of it. You've got Adventureland, Frontierland, Fantasyland, Tomorrowland, and then Main Street USA. So it's easy to spend 2 days there because you can just spend a few in some lands and then a few in the other. And I always suggest to my clients to try to work your way around and then go back to maybe your favorites on that second day. It's easy to spend 1 day at the rest of the parks. I don't usually recommend half days to clients at all unless they are seasoned veterans when it comes to visiting Disney World. So if you've never been before, you do need a full day at Animal Kingdom, especially with the new Pandora Avatar Land opening this May. There's going to be so much more to see. A lot of people say you could spend a half day there. I disagree with that. So we've got Epcot, which that's split also into halves if you needed to. You could do a half day and a half day if you are going to stay a little longer and didn't want to do your full day there. People do tend to get a little tired, especially in the summer with Epcot, because you're walking outside more often there and Animal Kingdom than the other parks. So you could do the Future World and the attractions there one morning, and then maybe in the evening go back to World Showcase where you're walking around there. Hollywood Studios, with all of its renovations right now, is just completely different than times I've been in the past. So I personally could spend a full day there. It's my favorite park. So if you have younger children, this one will probably be the half day for you, even though, again, I don't recommend that because it's just, there's so much hidden and so many things to see and things to ride in multiple times and so many shows that you can spend a whole day there. But if you are crunching time and need to have a shorter vacation, that one would probably be half day for now because they are closing half the parks for the construction going on at Star Wars and Toy Story. So overall, to recap, if you can spend weeks at Disney World, which I do have clients that spend 2 weeks there, cool. You can spend as many days as you want there. But if you're trying to figure out what is the minimum that you need to do, I would consider the 1 day at each of the 3 and then the 2 at the Magic Kingdom. You could do 1 per day if you only want 4 days there. Maybe consider the park hopper though, because if you are at one park and you decide we're done at this one, you might want to hop back to Magic Kingdom because again, there's a ton to do there. I hope that answers some questions with that. So let's look at, since I mentioned park hoppers earlier, what type of park ticket is going to match your needs for when you're visiting Disney World. So are hoppers worth it? And I suggest, again, if you are going to spend smaller amounts of time there, definitely get the hoppers, because even if you plan 1 park per day, once you get to Disney World, sometimes plans have to fly out the window because things may be closed, kids may get cranky and you want to go take a nap, or you just maybe possibly are over whatever you're doing and want to go somewhere else. So park hoppers I usually recommend anyway. Those are going to be, depending on the amount of days you get on your ticket, about $75 per person to add. If you're at Disney World and you decide to add hoppers, it's going to be the same price no matter when you add them. So it makes sense to add them at the beginning. Even if you have 2 days left on your tickets and you just want to hop that 1 day, it's still going to be the same price it would have been when you added it. So just go ahead and add them onto your package. Some reasons why you may need park hopper tickets and some things people don't consider. So I've got a list here. You may be attending a special event. Are you considering taking a tour that requires you to be at Magic Kingdom, and those do require park admission, but maybe you have dining reservations that night in Animal Kingdom? So that would require a park hopper ticket. So consider what special events you're going to be doing and your dining reservations. So if you are booking maybe a little late and the only dining you could get for Be Our Guest is an evening on a random day, and you've decided based on a crowd calendar that day you need to spend it at Hollywood Studios, then you definitely need a park hopper because you're going to have dinner in another park. Let's see. Special events tickets are going to be a little different. If you are buying the Halloween party, the Christmas party, after-hour party, then you don't necessarily need park admission with that. Your ticket is your admission in. So let's say you are visiting Disney for 5 days in the fall. One of those days you want to spend at the party, the Halloween party that night. But in the morning, you can go to, even if you have base tickets, you can go to any park you want and get into Magic Kingdom starting at 4 p.m. with that Halloween ticket. So when you're doing your planning, if you see, well, we need to be at Magic Kingdom that night, you don't have to be in Magic Kingdom that morning. You can be at any other park because your event ticket allowed you to come in later to there. So that's something to consider too. You may not need the park hopper in that instance. With the recent ticket changes that happened in February of 2017, we now no longer have what's called the Water Park Fun and More option. We call it the Park Hopper Plus. So you can have your regular base ticket, your park hopper ticket, and now you have the option for the Park Hopper Plus, which can include admission into the water parks and the golf and mini golf and whatnot. So that's something else you need to think about. Like for example, if you went to that party that morning and you only had 4-day tickets to the parks and you already had your other 4 days planned out, maybe that day you're going to the party, you may want to go to a water park instead and take like a little break from the parks and save your other park tickets. If that's the case, then get the Park Hopper Plus option. That's going to be hard for me to start saying that. Sorry. It's completely different. I love when they make changes on you like that. So if maybe you are thinking you want 4 days in the park and 1 day water park, how many park ticket days do you need to buy? Is the answer 4 or is it 5? It's 4. Don't buy a 5-day Park Hopper Plus option if you're only going to be 4 days in the park with that 5th day in the water park, because with that option you have the 4 park, but then you also get that water park added in, so don't pay for the extra ticket. So that's something just to be cautious of when you're doing that. All right, and the only other thing I have on here for you to consider when you're deciding between base, Park Hopper, or Park Hopper Plus option is, do you maybe want to go see an evening show later? If Wishes, which is about to end, you know, I just made that Wishes video, and that week Disney decided to announce that they were no longer going to be having Wishes. Come on. How do you feel about that, by the way? I'm excited for a new show. I am sad because Wishes it means so much to my husband and I. When we visited it, we watched it twice. It's just a memory we'll have, but just crazy that happened the same week. Sorry, I jinxed it for those of you who love Wishes. Anyway, so if there is a show that you just love so much, maybe that new Once Upon a Time show you want to see more than once, then Park Hopper would be a good option just to go back that evening to see it. But again, if you've watched that other video, I've got other ways you can see it without getting into the parks. So consider maybe the Star Wars fireworks are only certain nights, the River of Light, which in the spring is not every night, so you may need to look at that and say, well, we'll need park hoppers because the night we're at Animal Kingdom, they don't have the show. So we need to make sure we go back to see that. So we will need park hopper tickets. Okay, so I know that was a ton of information. I hope this shed some light on some of you that are considering park tickets and how many days you need to spend and doing that basic research. However, keep in mind that I am a certified Disney travel agent with MickeyTravels, and we are a platinum agency, and I would love to help you if you need some help planning this trip. Our services are completely free, and we're with you step by step of the way. So it's either book through Disney, and then any questions you have to wait on hold, or book through me, same price, and I can be there anytime via email, phone call, well, sometimes phone call. Many of you know I'm a school teacher. It's craziness sometimes, but you guys are priority, and I will make sure to take care of you when you need it. All right, if you need to contact me, my email's below. My Instagram and Facebook account are also down there. And I will hope I see you really soon. Have a magical day. Bye.